You're in the mix.
SKM presents Strictly for the Music Podcast. You are now live with the #1 podcast for all upcoming artists worldwide.
It's the real
deal. Strictly for the Music Podcast, a platform for all upcoming artists of all genres. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we got a special guest in the building. Native American, independent, underground hip-hop artist from Whit Swan, Washington, 98952, and has achieved a lot in the years, including founding his own record label, Northside Records, CEO, has a strong reputation in the lower valley of Yakima country, and has been involved in many different projects and groups over the years in his career. With no further ado, ladies and gentlemen, my next guest, KeeLow G.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Rapper KeeLow G up here. Hey, before we start, I just want to make a shout out to everybody that has collaborated over, the current years right now, including the years before then. So shout outs to Black Lodge, shout outs go to Weatherman, Trey the Name, Isaacs, shout outs go to Miguel Ray, shout outs go out to Shawnee Marlin, and then shout outs go out to Lil J himself out there too. So you guys are out there still keeping it real, and hope you guys continue on, and I hope to do some more music with you guys. But let's get back into the content there. What's going on, my bro?
Dope, man. Hell yeah, you gotta give shout outs to your day ones, man. That's always welcome here, man. All right, man. So, man, 2011, you know what I mean? Yakima country, man. Tell us about what was it like growing up, man.
I mostly I lived out in countrysides and stuff like that, not out in on the reservation, because Whit Swan is deep in the heart of the Yakima Nation. So you're going out there, it's sort of in the middle of nowhere, yet everything around there is sort of a ghetto. Let's put it this way: the area it's beautiful, it's nice during the daytime. At nighttime, it's more questionable. You got all these people that come out at night. So, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of them, but it's all good. I was a troublemaker. I got beat. I got disciplined, and over the years, things just fell into where they're at right now, and now I'm here where I'm at. And I think it just, defined me being to who I am now. And over the years, I kind of progressed in what I do, and I do what I do best with what I got. It's just something you pick up from, being in the lower class. I wasn't brought into full money or anything like that. I was
right.
taught a certain set of values, and that's what I keep to this day. It's still honor, respect, loyalty, and I still keep that to this day. I hold that, higher than most anything else.
That's dope, man. That's a good introduction, man. So let me ask you this, man. Set us the first foundation of Northside Records, man. I know this is something that you started doing back 10 years ago or so, man. Give us a foundation of how this all started, man.
That is gonna be I don't know exactly, what your content on your thing to promote is, but let's put it this way: it's not a really light story, but I'm gonna get into it. But it's not, too dark. But let's put it this way: I gotta give a shout out. If I'm gonna be sending the whole story about that, I just gotta send out, a shout out to everybody. If you know who IMP families are, I gotta give you guys a shout out, because without IMP, XIV families, Northside Records would not even have been a thought, to be honest. And, in my area, there's a lot of trouble. We have gangs and troubled youth in our neighborhoods and stuff in our areas. And, in order to be able to, get through safely and, without getting in too much trouble. Sure, the people will get in trouble in certain points, but in order to have protection out there, you got to be able to work with some of these people, or somebody, and somebody knows somebody that, is always in with some BS like that. And I know a lot of them. I know a lot of my area was controlled by, IMP, and it's also with the, MOB 14 families, and, yeah, they had a lot of inspiration to it. So that's why it's called Northside Records, because it's Northside is in my area. It's the craziness that goes on, but it comes with it at the same time. So my foundation started, I guess, like I said, when I was writing, when we were speaking earlier, I said, I wrote after I got kicked out, expelled from Job Corps, and I just, did a lot of writing, did a lot of freestyles. And eventually it came to a point where in 2011 when I started, coming up there, it eventually turned into like, okay, well, let's put in a label. So I just started writing it as North Side Records, but then after a while it evolved to North Sideda just to represent the whole neighborhood. And if you notice at the very beginning of the label, if you go all the way back trace way back and find all the older profile pictures for North Side Records, you'll even see there's a 14 in the middle, just right above the north. There's a 14 on there to represent that for the Lower Valley area. And the Lower Valley code for North Side here is 14512, which, it is a represents for the Lower Valley of Yakima Nation, 14 representing, our region, which is, the northern area, and the 12 represents an R, because if you shape it just right, it looks like an R. But that's what all that stands for. So yeah, there's a lot of influence that comes, to the label, but at the same time, it holds a little bit different, and it's not to keep to the dark side. Here's the lighter part about it is I want it to be able to push forward and help struggling and striving artists that are trying to basically give them a footing, like a small foundation, and give them a start. So if I have an artist signed up to the label, I'm going to give them benefits that's going to come with it. Obviously, you get free tracks, free instrumentals that I can produce. I also do EQing, mixing, and mastering, and if need to be, recording. And then I can use my own connects to try and promote their, so not promote, but send it to like iTunes, Spotify, and all of that. And then I just need their information to do all that. And then after that, they just grade the artist profile for Spotify, and then they're set to go from there. Afterwards, if they choose to leave, they're free to leave anytime they want. If they find a better deal with another label or more established label, then that is, perfectly acceptable. But basically, I'm just trying to help other artists, get, up there, and including those that have come from the gutter, those that come from the streets. Because like I said, it's not a humble beginning, to be honest. It's kind of a dark beginning, but at the same time, there's a light to it. So from the dark comes the light. So that's basically where we stand, is in the center, smack dab in the underground. So that's where that comes from.
All right, man. So man, learning all these fundamentals, man, of the music, man. Like, how did you accumulate all these, I don't know, you would say fundamentals, man? Like, you know what I mean? Because you're going from beat producing to producing, and then you're giving all these artists a chance on your label, man. Like, what does that mean for the people out there, man?
Well, let's put it this way. People like myself, because for myself, I have a slight record, and I have a reputation. Let's put it this way, for certain things I did in my past to where I'm at now. And there's a lot of people that, aren't going to look at that. They're going to look at that, and they're going to look at it in a negative way. So it's going to be like, look, you don't have this. You don't have this. Nobody's supporting you with this. You need help with this, and there's a lot of things that are blocking other people, from proceeding forward. I know that because I was there. I've been there. Back in the day, I used to be able to, just clip beats together and then try looping, from like, I'd freestyle to like, Wu-Tang, Dr. Dre beats, stuff like that from the 90s and stuff, all that stuff that was from my era. And, it's kind of difficult to be able to push through when you look at the legal reasons why a lot of artists don't do that. And when they try to, they can only go so far. But it's like, look, you're working with someone else's content that's well established. It ain't going to go further than that. Now, if you have somebody that can, produce beats and all that, usually they're going to want a cut. They're going to want, a percentage of that.
Right.
So that's where I found myself. So I found out that, okay, well, in order to push forward and try and go beyond that line, I have to do everything independently. So that's what I did. And, I learned EQing, I learned how to mix, I learned how to master. And then, when I eventually met up with members of the Black Lodge Singers, which is a pretty good, powwow group for the Native American side. That's where I advanced even further in learning how to EQ, because then I was learning how to record for them and like record tracks, EQ them, mix them, and master them down, and then put them on there. And one of the defining tracks that was a masterpiece, a lot of them said it was a masterpiece. It was the cleanest one they had independently in years, since they tried to go separate from Canyon Records. And that would be the Live in Browning soundtrack. But even they also hit a brick wall, because the royalties and stuff that they couldn't maintain because they overspent their budgeting. So that album is kind of it pretty much had a too fast of a run. It was good, but it kind of hit a brick wall. So now those songs are on the new one that they just came out in like 2019, which is called, I believe it's called The Family or something. Yeah, something Live Family.
Yo, bro.
And they added those tracks to that album. So.
Yo, bro, where can we find this at, man?
You can just go to, which one, the Live in Browning or their albums?
Their albums, man. Everything that your band or I don't know your group is doing, man.
For Black Lodge Singers, just you can look them up iTunes or Spotify. It's just the Black Lodge Singers or just Black Lodge. You can look that up. They're a 12 Grammy nominated powwow group from the United States, from Whit Swan, Washington, but they originated from Browning, Montana. They're a pretty good Blackfoot singing group, so you should check them out if you guys like powwow music.
That's dope, man. That's dope, man. Hey, man, you're the first here, man. And you know what, man? That's dope to hear, man. For real. All right, man. So would you say that that group right there like evolved you from not just recording but to do the whole EQ mastering?
I would say they had a large proportion to do with the recording, mixing, and mastering, because at that time they handed me this to work with, be able to record with them, this old mixer that was from like 1970, I would say 78, maybe 76, somewhere around there. But it was one of the old style that used the old vacuum tubes. And that made it a lot more easier, but I had to implement modern day technique to older techniques and had to be able to transfuse them together in order to create harmony. And when I did that, I had to learn, and I was experimenting with new stuff at that time, so they kind of helped drive me to perfect, mastering and recording. And if it wasn't for that, my audio wouldn't have been the exact same as it is now. I mean, my audio is okay. I'm working with I can work with cheaper mics and still make it sound good.
Nope.
That I can say. That is a give. The thing here is that when I was doing that, I was working with new techniques at the time. So I was advancing while I was, doing my work at the time. And I advanced so far that it sounded pro level, which is a good thing. But like I said, I was working with binaural audio. Don't get it confused with binaural beats, but binaural audio is different. It's the sound of the human hearing, and I was studying about human hearing at that time too. So that's one of the reasons why that album sounded pretty good. And I have a sample on that on my YouTube channel if anybody wants to check it out. It's called Sidestep by Black Lodge Singers. If you guys want to check it out, you can hear it. That's the uncut raw version of it.
That's dope, man. Man, that's crazy, man. I mean, bro. Like learning all that, man, and I'm gonna be the one straight up to tell you, man, all that what you just explained, man, it's not easy, bro. You know. And you know what? I'm glad that you know what that you learned this trade, man, or whatever you want to call it. But man, it looks like me. You're well put on game, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, it took years. I mean, like I said, when I got expelled from Job Corps 2009, I have nowhere to go at this time. Still pretty much,
How old were you?
there. Oh, shoot, man. When I got expelled out of Job Corps, I was 17 years old, and that was due to zero tolerance. I got into a fight. They said if I wasn't 17 at the time, it would have been charges at that time. But I was 17. The other dude was 17. He got expelled from Job Corps. He couldn't go back. As for me, I was zero tolerance, so they instantly, booted me out of that. So I was like, okay. So, from there, like I said, I was writing. I bought some software, which was Cakewalk 5. And at that time, Cakewalk was still owned by Gibson. so pretty much, it evolved from there, from learning that, and then afterwards I jumped to FL and been working with FL Studio. So yeah.
Damn, man. So man, all right, man. So man, all right, FL Studio, man. You jump from Cakewalk, and then now, what are you doing right now, man? At this time, after you just learning all this recording, man. Like what was your plan? Like, what was the Black Lounge? Was that the Black Lounge? Was that the stepping stone, bro, that got you where you're at right now?
When it comes to skill level, yeah, it pretty much was. I mean, they were an inspiration. They're the ones that taught me how to sing Native American songs and learn how to speak Cree. So if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have been able to do certain tracks and have a representation. Because at that time, I was still in they call it like a washed mind state where I was going nowhere. The belief in Native American is that, everybody has to start somewhere. You're born several times. First time is when you're brought into this world. And then the second time is when you open your heart to the people and you be able to learn, how to be, who you are. And that's what I did. And they opened my eyes to certain things. So if it wasn't for them, like I said, I wouldn't have learned how to speak Cree. I wouldn't have learned how to do powwow music, make drums, and then learn how to be an actual native, because that was more or less ghetto at that time. I talked a little bit ghetto. I had my own thing going on, and I was into some stupid shit at that time. But my bad for swearing on your show. I don't know.
You're good, man. You're good.
All right, but yeah, like I said, I learned discipline and I learned respect. But I was going a different route, and then they kind of weaved me onto another route that was a good route. But over time, after all of that, times got rough. Things crumbled apart, and I ended up homeless. So at that time, I was in the streets, and yeah, I got hooked on meth and got in some trouble. Got back into the flow of the negative. Was in the street for like 6 years, man, 6 years, and was on meth for a long time. Went to jail multiple times for a multitude of different charges. You name it, I pretty much racked it, and yeah, I made it to where I'm at now. I've been clean for like 3 years now. Got out of jail. My auntie pulled me off the streets, and during these 3 years, I'm just gradually working back into, it's like riding a bike. You don't forget, but at the same time, you lost skills, so you got to build it back up, and so that's where I find myself today. So now I'm back into making music, and without that inspiration, I wouldn't have had, tribulation music for Native Americans. So I got a little more respect, but at the same time, over the years, I'm a little more humbler than what I used to be, and a little more mellowed down. So that's where I find myself today. So
that's crazy, man. So you get kicked out of Job Corps. Do you immediately go homeless, man? Like, what is that where it turned your life upside down when smoking dope and shit, or what?
No, things were going on at that time. My parents were getting old at that time, so they couldn't afford the house payments because I was staying with my parents at that time. So
Okay.
they kind of went with my one brother I didn't get along with. I still don't get along with to this day. I just put up these days, because like I said, I've mellowed down more. So, they went to stay with him. As for myself, I went to stay with friends, and then afterwards went to stay with other friends, and it jumped from place to place. Well, eventually I got into the streets, and afterwards I was like smoking, I was smoking weed, and I started drinking, and from there, I got thrown into gangs, thrown in the street, and just having to deal to survive. I stole, I robbed, been shot at, like you name it, all kinds of trouble, fights, yeah. And I got a pretty good charge on all that too, and a lot of them have been settled or dropped, and I'm more of, like I said, I hold those morals, honor, loyalty, and respect, and I've never snitched or rat on anybody. and I did a lot of time for it. But the thing is that at the same time, I hold a lot of respect for those certain individuals. I know they got me in trouble, but hey, I'm not going to say a word. It is what it is, and I took those charges like a man, and I did my time. So I guess you could say I'm still of the old school, honorable criminal, I guess you can call me.
You're not a degenerate.
Yeah, no. If I'm caught doing it, hey, I will do the time for it, and it is what it is, and
That's
I will
dope,
plead
bro.
guilty to it. But
That's dope,
I'm
man.
not. Yeah, I would suggest, for the younger generation that's listening out there, do better than me. Stay in school.
Right.
If you guys have a chance to get your education, just get your education, because it's a hell of a term to go through. Have to do all that. And I
A lot
wouldn't
of
wish that on
bullshit.
anybody. Exactly.
Yeah, man. So that's dope, man. I'm glad you opened up, man. And I'm glad you are where you're at today, man. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, man, do you want to go? I don't know how many albums you dropped during that time that you were going through the street life and doing all that other stuff, man. Man, on your Spotify account, man, you got one album. I'm guessing this is the first one you dropped on Spotify, reapproved.
Um, Somewhat, yeah. That was somewhat of the first full album, but those songs were on different albums, including one that was incomplete. And there's still tracks that I haven't uploaded from that incomplete album that didn't make it onto that album. And a lot of those tracks were actually made while I was sitting with like a friend of mine, and I was sitting in the back of a car just on a phone, and I did that one track, and I do believe that was called yeah, it was a song called Pipe Dreams, Wapato Dark Dreams. That one particular song there explains a lot. There was another one called 4 a.m. in the morning, but that one you can find up on BandLab. And that's the time I was working with it at the time, was in BandLab. So I produced those ones, and yeah, it was in a back of this broken ass, busted up car while it was like freaking raining, and I still made that sound pretty clear, but I wasn't in my right mindset at that time, but I still put my work and effort into that. So yeah, I was still doing some things, but I was just drifting at this time, I guess you could say, in life. So
All right, man. So this is like different tracks throughout the time that you've been getting back into music.
yes, and that's why I named it appropriately called Reapproved. But there was an album that's on my, if you look up my actual name, and there's another album, would be my first one I put on Spotify, and it was called Personal Journeys, which also has other tracks that were also scattered across. And I just added them on there. I didn't want to put greatest hits. I didn't want to put anything. I wanted it to be able to show where I've come and how far I've gone to where I'm at now. So that's why it's called Personal Journeys and Reapproved. Both albums are a way to explain that. So,
Okay.
and,
So you got two different accounts.
yes, sir. One's my government name, which I use that one for like the beats I produce and like, just pretty much like, instrumentals that I've been working on or that I have decided to put up and, just have them go through. And then, others are, mostly like, beats that I have used. And anybody just want to hear the instrumental, if you like a certain instrumental, then yeah, you can look it up on, Spotify, iTunes, you name it. Deezer, Amazon Music, all that. Yeah, I got like the whole thing. It's not just iTunes and Spotify. I got like a whole list of stuff I have it all on. But yeah, rapper KeeLow G is that's my artist name, and that's what I go by. It's also my nickname. So.
KeeLow G, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Man, you have a lot of content, man. So you had mostly you said you had mostly instrumentals, right?
Yep, I'm the one that's on my government name. So yes, sir.
Damn, man, you doing it, man. I mean, bro, you got like about 7.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. So, man, where do you want to begin, man? With your catalog.
Let me think. Where should we begin, man? Well, hey, let's start off with this one, because if you guys really want to know about how my life and where I'm at, sort of, just a coverage of everything, you should look up the track that I just recently put out, a new album I just put out, and it's called, Development. And that talks a lot. I don't know, have you heard that one yet?
Is it added once again?
Yeah, it's on that album, and, it's called Development.
No, man. Like I said, man. What I was really going through, man, was I was going through your YouTube.
Oh.
You know, your YouTube. You have a track list over there too. We got a big old playlist there too, man. But nah, man. I'm gonna get into more of your music, man. But right now, man, I had to do my research, man. So I went straight to your YouTube, bro. And we're gonna talk more about that. But let us know about development, man.
Well, Development talks about exactly sort of my beginning of my life. I was born on the Fort Hall Reservation, because I'm not Yakima. I'm a Shoshone-Bannock, which is the Shoshone-Bannock tribes area there. I was actually born in Pocatello, but it's still part of the Fort Hall Reservation. So I don't know how you'd explain that, but just I put it simply there. But I was only there for like maybe altogether, including to this day, maybe I would say a year and 3 months, maybe. And afterwards, we moved from there, and my parents moved to California, stayed there for a year. We didn't make it up to Washington State until 1996, and then that's when we came to White Swan. Moved from there, and then been to White Swan ever since. So all these years, I've been White Swan. I grew up there, lived there, stayed there. I breathe and live White Swan, basically, and it amazes me how many years we stayed in White Swan and all the people I know from that area. So that explains that part. Another part where it says, my own father, because I'm adopted. I am an adopted child, and I grew up with a different set of folks. But my father passed last year in, 2020. Yeah, 2020. And, I never knew him. I never knew him at all. I mean, I got his face and everything. And when you see someone that looks pretty much the same face as you laying in a casket, it kind of blows your mind a little bit.
Wow.
But yeah, I went there because somebody was contacting me on Facebook I didn't know, and they're like, "Oh, was that your father?" And I was like, I don't know anybody here," but so I went through and they gave me the information. So just to show like my own, I guess you could say, honor and respect, just for the simple fact that if it wasn't for him, I would be here, I guess, and just to see, that he's actually gone. Um, yeah, yeah. Well, Matt, so I settled my peace with that in a way. So I buried him. I got to meet my mother while I was there, and that was a mistake. Just put it that way.
Wow.
I'm better off where I'm at now, even though I've had the life I had. Yeah, I don't even know if I would even be alive to this day, because I mean, there's been a lot of points in my life where, let's put it this way, I would say if I totaled up 8 times, 8 different events, I probably wouldn't have been here. And that's also explained in the song too, because when I was homeless, I was out in a place called The Compound, which is in in Toppenish. And yeah, I was on so much shit, but I had nowhere to go at that time, so I ended up crashing out outside on the ground in gravel, no doubt. I woke up the next morning and literally my arm, I had no feeling in my arm. It was snowing and I could barely move, and you can just hear it in certain parts of my arm, just the ice that built up inside. I was literally freezing to death, so I crawled over to the casino, stayed there for like an hour until security told me I had to leave. I couldn't have been hanging around there for too long, so I was like, okay. So I warmed up enough, got out of there, and then, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of times. Another time too I saw was, it explains the song, how I saw people die before. I've seen people hit, I've seen people overdose, I've seen people get shot. Yeah, and those situations, it kind of goes through your mind so many times, and then it gets to a point where it's just like, it's just another day, basically. But
That's crazy,
nothing,
bro.
nothing got to me worse than actually seeing my mom and dad, my adoptive parents. Both of them just passed this year, so that kind of struck me pretty hard there. So I'm not gonna lie, I sat there and cried about that for a long time, and I was in mourning for so long, but I kind of pushed through and just strive to move on and do better. But yeah,
Yo, bro,
it wasn't.
let me ask you this, man. How did you adapt to that environment, man?
Mm, like I said, when you're out there and you're on a bunch of stuff, alcohol, meth, it kills your emotions and it kills your feeling, and to a point, it becomes a necessity of life to where you don't want to feel it. You don't want to feel the weight just crush you, because when you sober up and you clean up, everything hits you at once. And the days when I got out and my auntie pulled me off the streets, I broke down that time. That was the time I couldn't face my auntie. I looked out the window and I just wanted to cry. I wanted to just break down, and I did. I had an emotional breakdown, and after that, it was just like almost it hardens you a little bit at the same time, humbles you but hardens you a lot, and you just learn to respect life as it is and the life that you have and everyone else around you. You just got to be able to accept everything and just take it, because you get this one chance in life, and when it's gone, it's gone. You learn that real quick. And to be honest, if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't have been as kind and as nice I am today. But yeah, I've seen the dark side of what life can hand you. So
That's crazy, bro. Wow. All right, man. So development, man. You wanna kick it off with "Come On, Everybody"?
oh man, come on everybody. This is all good. Yeah, all right. That track was just made just for the good times, because I mean you gotta have some kind of song to start it off, and it was so difficult to find a track to start it off with, but I finally came up with that one. And that one I wanted to bring back that old school sound, something that was like mid '90s, early 2000s during that time. And I just started writing. I was just like, you know what? And I just like going through, and I was like, nah, we're gonna do it this way. And I was like, come on everybody, let's get on down. I'm back at it again. I'm running through your town. You all know the song. Come on.
Hell yeah.
I'm coming back. So that was the way. That was the way I wanted to put it out, because it literally had everything to do with the album. Because I'm back at it again. I'm clean. I'm fresh. I'm ready to go, and I'm ready to push through and try to get this put out. So
That's dope, man. That's fucking dope, dog. All right, man. So leading on to the next one. This is a collaboration, man. At It Again featuring Weatherman.
ooh, ooh. See, that was like I said, shout out to Weatherman, but that was one of the first tracks me and Weatherman have ever done, and it would not be Weatherman if it wasn't for Seeing Crazy. And let's put it this way, we'll get into that later here, but with all the events that happened, I checked out his content and I was loving the track that he was doing. His style is so unique. I mean, he's more lyrical than anything else. He's more lyrical, where it's just like everything he puts out has got a contradiction to verbs, and his verbs got a add-on and an additive followed by another syllable. So it pieces together just perfectly. It's a perfect balance. And at the same time, he has that craziness that goes with it. And when I listened to his tracks, and I was like, this guy's got some going on here. So finally, I commented on his videos. I comment on his stuff. He comes and he checks out my stuff, and he comments on all the things, and he finds all my tracks that we're doing at that time, because there was a war going on at that time. He was checking out all my stuff, and he was commenting. He was supporting I was supporting his. So it just naturally came together. We're just like, hey, you know what? We got a commonality here. Why don't let's just do this? So eventually it became to this collaboration. Um, I asked him to come onto this track, and we just tore it up from there, and it was just like, it became lyrical art, and it perfected that way.
That's dope, man. Shout out to Weatherman, man.
Definitely. Shout outs to Weatherman. And I hope he's getting back into music, because supposedly I guess he's going to be taking a break for that, but I hope he comes back soon. We can do some more collaborations, because I love to see his content. His content's good. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. All right, man. So, Home of the Heartless.
Home of the Heartless. That is As It Is. It's a story that tells about the areas where I've been, the Yakima area, and all just the dangerous stuff that happens, especially during the day and night. I mean, if you look up the history of the area, the entire region with Wapato, Toppenish, Hara, you got Brownstown, and then you got the city of Yakima, Sunnyside, you look up the area and it's pretty violent. And the area is not that good, but that's where the term "Home of the Heartless" comes from, basically, is because of all that. So, and not only that, but the beat I produced myself, so it was like, it had to be done. It just had to be done with the style that I use. And my style is West Coast. You know, I do West Coast hip hop style. So, and I know you guys are just loving to hear that style, that old school flavor that nobody else is giving much these days. I mean, there's a very handful of artists that give that full West Coast, and
Bro.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Definitely, man. But, man. All right, so, man. The West Side Ride Tonight featuring Trey the Name.
Ooh, man. I personally asked Trey to get on that track. It's not the first collaboration we've done, but it's one that I wanted him to be featured on. I wanted him to be featured on my album, because we made it fit together. Our styles are almost similar in comparison, somewhat. Just, he does his own, I don't know, how would you call it? Mellow melody, or melic? His flow, it's just soothing. And my style is nearly the same at times, but my style is like laid back. It's that West Coast. So, you know what? Let's do it. Let's put this on this, because this is gonna sound dope when I put this on here, man. And come to find out, man, when he did that first verse, he was just riding with it. He said he was trying to ride with it, and he put his heart into that song, and you can hear it. So afterwards, I mixed it together, and then I just started throwing in the sound effects. And he, at that time, like I said, this whole album was made during a war that was going on between me and another artist. And when that was made, it was made with the utmost, how would you say, perfected art, I guess you can say. He was trying to perfect his style and everything that was going to there. So that's how come that got pushed 10 times where it was, especially with the sound effects in the background that completed it. And yeah, you guys can hear it too when you listen to it. And it wasn't really, it's not a diss track. It's like kind of a generic, but at the same time, there are a few shots that were thrown at that time in there, and you can hear the hints that are in it. But other than that, it's just pretty much a generic track. But
So,
yeah, it brought that style back.
hell yeah, man. All right, it's the North.
The North, man. Yeah, that was another generic track, but it's also a shout out. So shout out to my region and my area. Like I said, you know, White Swans was the north side, so we had to do something with that. And I also had to put it as a, you know, basically to pay homage to my area and, you know, the people that have brought me and protected me and brought me to where I'm at right now, you know? So that's why that exists, and it had to be on there. It was a necessity. So.
Yo, bro, this is dope, man. Man. Madman World, rapper KeeLow G, Reese Backbone, Backhouse, Trey the Name, man. This is a big collaboration, man. How did you put this together, man?
That was put together a long time ago already, during the beginning of the war. But the thing is that was a full diss track, and one of the artists that I've helped produce and helped make over the time, just every so often, you know, tracks here and hints how to do EQs and stuff. That would be Reese Backhouse. Now he does YouTube gaming under Black Manta Car 552, I believe. his music that he does are just like freestyles, YouTube raps, and he does them live on his Twitch channel every so often. You know, he'll spit random raps, but when he heard about what was going on and heard about the Scene Crazy incident, he flew off the hinges. He demanded he wanted to be on a track. He demanded he wanted to throw a shot out there. So I told him, I said, all right. I'm like, all right. So I got a beat. I had a couple beats in line, but I gave them to him. I told him, ride to these ones here, and then I'll let you know which one. And he gave me a video with just his audio to that, and because his recording, he's you know, he does it through video, so I have to decrypt the audio from the video, and then translate it into audio. And when I did that, yeah, so when I did that and I put it onto the track, it just naturally flowed. I was just like, wow. And then the fact that he's from the UK when he had his British, yeah, he's from the UK, dude.
United Kingdom.
Yep, he's from Bridlington, UK, man. All the way from England. Just
No
only
way,
3 hours
bro.
from London. Yeah, I'm serious.
How did he find you, bro? How did this go, bro?
Oh, that was years ago, dude. Just because back in my day, like I said, when I was younger, just before all the stuff happened, yeah, I used to be on Xbox and stuff, playing Xbox Live. And we just met and just started bullshitting and freestyling back and forth. Yeah, that's how all that happened. So.
Oh shit, dude, damn.
Yeah,
so you don't, so like he's not following you on nothing, just it's just a gaming thing, and he just spit to your beats, bro.
Yeah, pretty much, and he got all that. So yeah, nah, he follows me on you know, everything else. It's just that he's very quiet. He's usually the quiet one in the background, but during this day, the quiet one spoke. You know, the silent kid in the class finally spoke.
Damn. Man, that's dope, man. So you got motherfuckers all the way in the United Kingdom rocking with you, dog.
I got people from Syria that are rocking with me on that one.
Syria?
Yeah.
No
That's
shit.
where Shotty Whiteman, aka Shadow. You guys check out Shadow. I mean, he does music every so often, but he does his more of like live, you know, freestyles and stuff. But I met him years ago through a Facebook group where it was just freestyles. It was called the 5 Grand M's. And they were just doing, you know, random freestyles over Facebook, you know, just poetic. And so I was on that, and then I met Shani, I met Lil J, and we just collaborated via SoundCloud. You know, that was back when SoundCloud was a thing. So yeah, we're doing all that, and that's how I met him. And he added me onto a track, which that track can be found just as around, because we never completed it. We got on it, but we never completed that one. So he just left me the beat to use and stuff. And that could be found up on Personal Journeys. You can look for that one on there, and it's called oh my god, did I really forget my own track? But you guys can look it up. But anyway, it's a very short. It's like only 1 minute and 37-second track, and you'll find it on there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, man, dope, bro. So, what makes you different from other artists, man? Right now, man, you already know, man. You're already coming up with the self-producing, man. You know, you're self-produced. You're making your own beats, man. Like, what is it, bro?
The thing that makes me more unique, homie. Let me
All
check.
right.
I would say is that I'm vintage. I'm a 90s kid. I grew up in the 90s. The thing is that what makes me unique is that I stick to those roots because, you know, I'm loyal to the old school styles. So I have that old school 90s characteristic. I got my own lingo that I grew up with, you know, with that, and everyone's stuck with this newer, you know, how would you put it, that newer flow, you know? And
Yeah.
I'm still saying slang from the 90s and stuff, so that's how come I'm putting it in there, and I put it into my rap. And, you know, I'm basically 1998 stuck in 2021.
Right, bro. Right.
Here 2005 all the way to 97 and 96. You come check out my stuff, man. That's where you could find the modern era.
Right. All right, man. So I'm not sure if you do your own videography, how you go upon this, man. But music videos, man. And I seen a music video, man, on your YouTube channel. And ladies and gentlemen, and if you don't know about his YouTube channel, go to the search engine, search bar, type in North Sideda, Sideda Records. Type that in, and then there's gonna be a few tracks on there. But one that stuck out to me the most was an actual music video, man. So,
You're talking
Young
about
Warrior.
Right? Yeah. Oh, Warrior. Oh, yeah, you can hear
Young
my
Warrior.
right there, huh? That one
Man.
was Trey the Name. That I think that was actually one of the first collaborations me and Trey did. Yeah, it was. And get this, I knew Trey before this whole Scene Crazy incident that happened. I knew him before all that when he invited me to Native Hip Hop, his little group that he had. But anyway, yeah, we did this collaboration, Young Warrior, and so I suggested it would be a good idea to put a music video to that.
Yeah.
So what happened? We talked over and talked and finally got him to do it. And he's like, I'm gonna do it. So he did his part. He sent it over my way. Then I did my part, and all of that was just, yeah. Let's put it this way. And a lot of people were surprised about that. They're like, how? And I'm just like time and effort. Basically, that's what it was. It worked down to time and effort, and it paid off. It paid off real good right off the reservation. So, and that's all it was. Yeah, that's what it was. It was basically him showing his reservation, and then I showed up how my reservation is, and it even told about it too in that track. And even he said he was like, "That sounds harsh," and I was like, "Well, it's my area, worse than his, sadly, but it is what it is."
Right, man. You know what I mean? That's dope, man. Like, man, I mean, y'all from two different sides of the fucking map, bro. Y'all shooting music videos and putting this out, man. That's dope, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, man. So you do a lot of you like was this your first interview or you got an interview before this, man?
Technically, it's my first interview for this particular thing here for a podcast, but somebody did interview me on a radio thing once, and that was quite some time ago. But that was in, I do believe it was, if I remember right, Warm Springs, and that was through the H-Bomb, I believe. He did like a quick interview. And if anybody on reservations who listen to reservation music and hip hop, you guys know who Henry H-Bomb is. You guys go check him out. If you guys want to send him a shout, because he does do music and all that stuff as well. Not as good as me because he works as a radio DJ on the AM stations. So you're not going to get that good quality. But you guys can check him out at nativehog@gmail.com if you guys want to check him out. But anyway, let me get back. Yeah, he did a small interview, and then I had another small one, but that one apparently was never released, and I just got like a small audio clip of it. And that was done in Wapato, in my region. So, yeah, as you can tell, I'm not too good at interviews, but I'm trying my best here.
Oh, bro, you're doing excellent, man. I thought this was like I don't know, bro, but hey, bro. You already know the process, man. Shit.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Professional, as you can tell.
Let me ask you this, bro. So with the music videos, man, can we see a lot more of these music videos coming out? Maybe by the end of this year, or maybe this is a goal that you want to accomplish in 2022.
Possibly. I'm gonna say possibly. Let's put it this way. You might want to keep checking out the first track on the album. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, man. So that's coming out this year.
Yeah, I'm still working on it, but yeah, it'll come out, and hopefully it'll come out really good. But I'm working with snips and small clips and stuff to try and piece this stuff together, and it takes time to do process when you're trying to perfect it.
Exactly, man. Like, I like the way you did Young Warrior, man. How you got different clips of different back areas, man, the background, you know what I'm talking about, and put it inside the left dog. I think you did an excellent job on that one, man. I'm gonna stay tuned with Northside Records, man.
We're trying to do it big, but at the same time, I'm trying not to get too big because I prefer my comfortableness in underground. Because where everything's at now in music, I would have tried to done that years ago. I would have tried to gone mainstream. However, I've seen music where it's evolved into where it's at now, and right now I'm just gonna say in the underground, because when you get into mainstream, it just gets jumbled up and you get like so many restrictions afterwards. So right now in the underground, I'm unrestricted, unrated, and I have no one to hold me back. That's where I'm at right now, is right here in the underground, and this is where I think I might actually establish my full home permanently. But I don't know.
Let me ask you this, man. So you got the Black Lodge, right? I said it right,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
All right,
sir.
man. So you got this group, man. Man, what are the plans for this group, man? Or what's on the plate of Northside Records right now? What releases do you got going on? What can the people expect from you, man?
Probably more hip hop and more instrumentals. I'm trying to push for more instrumentals, and I want to try and get those pushed through to try and have other artists, invest into it or look into it, maybe use them. But I would love to be able to make a track because in my younger days, even still to this day, I still love anime. I would like to make a track for an anime or a big time television show or something. But yeah, I would
Hey,
also
bro.
love to use.
Hey, yo, bro. Let me ask you this, man. Anime, man. So I've been hearing a lot about this, man. And bro, I gotta ask you, man. Like, are you planning to like shoot your own anime series, man?
Nah. I wouldn't mind doing some voice acting though. That'd be cool.
That's dope, bro. Like, there's like, bro, you can actually, man, go on Fiverr, man, make you an account, and I don't know, maybe you might have to plug in your PayPal, bro, and you can actually even do that, bro. Like, bro, you already know the basics of it, dog. Cause like when I hear you rap, bro, I hear more than just words, bro. I hear that you're actually putting your heart and your soul into every one of these tracks, man. Like you're giving us like the harmonizing, man, on your music, bro, and that's dope, bro. That's dope to hear, man. And that's another thing that sticks out is that you're from the '90s era, man. So you got that old school flavor, dog.
Yeah, well, if you notice, for me, compared to most artists, I don't really use auto tune. Like
Right, right.
everything is like split. I split the audio, so there's a thing called reverb, and
Yeah.
then there's a thing called delay. And I use a lot of the delay, and I layer the audio over, and then I go and come back and record over again and add an extra layer to it, so there's double vocals. That's what makes that sound come out. A lot of people try to do a laser with autotune because they're trying to get it to do that, but there's only so far you can get with autotune. And I'll admit, autotune does sound good on some tracks, but not every
Right.
track. You
Right.
got to have diversity, and that's what I try to perfect. And I try to strive for that, diversity, and yet I still try to perfect for that perfection. I try to go for that. Let's put it that way. And I do put my heart and soul into it too when I put it, because I'm trying to get that certain sound, that certain aspect. Because when you're listening to rapper KeeLow G's sounds, you expect a certain sound
Right.
that I
Right.
have, and I keep that at that par. So yeah.
And that's dope, bro. That's dope that you do that, man. And there's another song that I want to go back into your catalog, man, and I think it's dope, bro. Like, man, which one was it, bro? It's the one in Cree language, man.
True Warrior.
Yeah, man.
That one was
Hey, bro, I'm gonna keep it real with you, dog. That track right there, man. I thought "Are You Ready" was dope, but when I heard that one, dog, I said, man, that's it, dog. This is it, bro. Know what I'm saying?
yeah, that was when it goes Pasokan panemitsodan nanaskamo Yeah, that one right there, yeah. See, that one is from an actual round dance song that came out years ago by a group called Young Warrior, or Young Scouts. Or, no. Young, hold on. Young Spirit. It was Young Spirit that made it. I had them confused with another native group, but yeah, that group, I actually know a few of the members from that group because I've actually sat and sang with them in Warm Springs and then also here in my area, and then a few other times in different regions too, including Browning when they had round dances and stuff over there. So yeah, I've been around the block or two. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, man. When I heard that song, man, I was like, man, I was amazed, bro, because like I don't know, man. I'm trying to find some more Native American hip hop artists like yourself, man. But you know, there's only very few, man. You know what I'm saying? But
Most Native American artists that are like in hip hop groups and stuff, they try to sound like everybody else in the mainstream, or they try to sound like,
is that what it is, bro?
yeah, that mainstream sound. They want to sound like Lil Wayne. They wanted to try to sound like Young Thug, Slim Thug, or they're trying to sound like Chippy Red. They're trying to
Give me
sound
some
like
names, bro. Give me some names so I can look this up, bro.
look up Res Dogs and then look up Res Hogs. Two different things, Res Dogs and Res Hogs. They're both
Yo, bro, wait, hold on, bro. Is that really a thing, Res Dogs, like in music? Is that not just a TV show, bro? Or how did this come upon, bro? Because I'm not up to par, bro.
Okay, the Res Hogs they're from the Wapato area, but they're more of that gutter, sound. They have that real rugged, I really want to say crunk sound, but it sounds more south, like, they're trying to sound like Lil Jon. And then, you also got Spoonie G, he comes up from, Browning, Montana area, and Spoonie is hard to find. I mean, he sells stuff by CD like I did, but you can find his stuff up on SoundCloud. You just got to look real carefully for that. Let's see, who would be another one? There's also Christopher Chief, 21 Studios, but you have to look that up on SoundCloud, not anywhere else. It's only on SoundCloud. Look up for STS Hip Hop. You can also look for Gooch Martinez. He does his own thing with 21 Studios. STS Hip Hop. Like, there's several other groups, but yeah, those are just,
Hey, bro, let me say this, man. I know you mentioned a couple, but the only ones that I see that really have like put a stamp to Native American hip hop. Have you ever heard of Times Two Salute?
Times to Salute. No, sir, I have not.
Man, you gotta check them out, man. Like, I don't know where they came from, man, but man, when I first heard them, bro, I was like, damn, these are Native, bro. I mean, they have their own style to them and everything, dog. So, yeah, bro, I'll send you a link after this interview. But yeah, man, yeah,
Yeah.
back to what we were talking about, man. Like, I never noticed that, bro. I've noticed a couple of big Native American hip hop artists, bro. But like you said, man, they have that new flavor to them, dog.
And the track that I put out there, Young Warrior, that was a response song to like during that time. Just this is at the end of the whole war and everything that was going on, because we've already squashed it. And I'll talk about that here in a bit. But let me tell you reason why. Because when Singh was putting out his tracks, he had this one that was, I guess you could say, high, because he was really going at natives at that time because of me, Trey, and everybody else. So he was really pushing forward. So he's trying to hit us culturally, and so there was a track where he's like, "I'm gonna go native on these guys." He did on an Iranian beat, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go native." So that's what I did. And so when I looked up, certain instrumentals, I found this one. So I did it this way. And so I did a positive to combat his negative. So instead of fighting, prejudiceness and racism with racism, I created positive in order to combat prejudice and racism. So that's how that turned about. Another track that he did too was when he was trying to do a chant, thing. He was like mocking, Native American, how we do our music. And, so Trey got mad and he did a song called, what was You can look it up. It's on my channel. But yeah, Trey did that track there and added me on it as as a for like the vocals, for like the background, for the beginning and the end of it. And you can hear me as I introduce to it. But yeah, we added a feature on that one, and we kind of got him back on those two tracks. But yeah, and as for the whole incident, I know that's what you were about to ask, right?
Yo, bro. So this is how this whole album started, bro. Was because of him?
No, this album was kind of inspired.
Was this album already in works, dog?
Okay, so I was never going to get back into music. I was just gonna call it and retire it, and then try it.
For real?
Yeah, I was going to, but then after this whole thing, a few tracks came out, one disc after another, and it went back and forth, back and forth. Then afterwards, I said, screw it, and I decided, alright, he wants a zombie to come back from the dead. I'm gonna give him come back from the dead, which also inspired the reason why I made the song At It Again featuring Weatherman. That's one of the reasons. But this whole album was basically me reviving myself. So now that I got this album out, okay, yeah, this is the first album that has been out since, oh my God, since so long ago, man. This is my first full album I've had in years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So wait, bro. So would you say you're still fresh in the game, bro?
Me? No, I'm not fresh in the game. I'm fresh in the game.
Are you seasoned, bro? Are you seasoned, bro?
Me? You could say I'm seasoned, yeah, as you could hear by the audio, yeah. When I step out for so many years and then come back like that, it's kind of like, yeah, you kind of have that ambiance there, and it's just like, yeah, I guess he's back. I thought you were gone. Me? No, I'm back.
That's dope, bro. That's dope that, that you got that fire back to you, dog. Because I'm telling you, bro, that fucking album, dog, is fucking dope, dog. But I'm just saying, like, what you got on your YouTube channel too, like, No More Bullshit, man. That right there, man, bro. I'm a fan, dog.
With that track, I told all my peoples that have got my back and stuff. I told them I would never do a modern track. I would never, get on the bandwagon. And
so no trap coming out of KeeLow G, right?
Yeah, but during the whole war that happened and everything, and I even said it on that track. I said I told my peoples I would never make a track like this. I guess I broke that promise now. That's what I put on. I said it on there, and I meant those words. I guess I broke that promise, because here I am. And I still killed it.
Yeah.
It was easy. That was a freestyle, dude. That was easy for me to do. And I'm just like, yeah, all I had to do was type in, because that was a free beat I got off. That's not a beat I produced. I'm looking at it right now. That is not a beat I produced. I looked up, all I had to do was type in the word Amigos style track. And that's how I got that one.
Dude, that shit goes hard, bro. I'm not lying, dog. That fucking song, bro, I'm like, damn, dog, this shit right here fucking banned. You know what I mean? Like, you still got it in you, dog.
Like I said, it was a, and then so was the other one that was before that one too. So, yeah. Here we go. Yeah, that was in it. And then another one, the one that I wrote though, I don't know if you checked it out, but On a Mission. Have you checked that one out?
No, I haven't checked that one out, man.
You like the old school style, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna love that one, dude. So that one goes hard. That one goes super hard, and yeah, everybody seems to have just they heard that and they're just like, wow. One of my closest homies here called me up after I put that track out, and he's like, "Do you know where we're at right now?" And I was like, "What?" He goes, "I'm in my friend's '63 Impala right now. We're blasting this shit. He's had it on loop since you put this shit on the fucking channel." I was like, "What?"
Bro, are you for real?
Yeah, he put it on loop and he rode down in the middle of Inglewood. He rolled down Inglewood blasting that shit. I'm just like, nah. And he sends me a video. He's literally cruising down fucking Inglewood. Near the spot right there. I'm just like near Watts. So I was like, oh, come on.
That's dope, dog. That's fucking dope, bro. To know that shit, dog, to like, damn, dog. You know what I mean? My shit made it all the way to like to the fucking Gangbang
Oh,
paradise, dog.
I've been going there, dude. That's where I got a lot of my support from, because a lot of my people, like I said, we represent for the underground and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of my connections actually have been going to California. They've been going to Miami and New York through my connections. So that's where I get a lot of my views and stuff from that area.
Yeah, man. So, hey, bro, let me ask you this, man. Were you ever involved with Death Row Records?
Me?
Yeah.
Nah. With the MLB family, so.
Like you didn't have no workings with Death Row. You didn't work with none of the artists or anything like that.
Nope. And if you heard that from Scene Crazy, he got that totally twisted. Now, we have the people that worked behind the scenes, though. Because, Suge Knight was a MOB Blood.
Okay.
That's who some of my homies.
So how did you get involved in all that, man? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Connections. I'm not going to get into too much detail about that, but let's put it this way: you get connections over the years of being in this kind of music, right? So eventually you see certain aspects of having certain people around you, and then you get acquainted, and you just get to know these people, and afterwards, it's just like, that's just what's the name over there. Oh, what's he affiliated with? That guy over there is Treetop. That guy over there is with MOB and him. He's over there from Watson. Like, what? Like, yeah, are you afraid of these guys? Nope. It's just another day thing, especially from the area I grew up in. It's just an everyday thing, And
You're already immune to the environment, dog.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. What about any concerts, man? Have you ever did any live performances?
No. I'm not gonna do any kind of concerts or anything like that. It's just not a thing I would do. Like I said, I'm strictly underground. If you ever wanted to catch me anywhere, you could probably catch me at a job that I'm working on, or if worse comes to worse, you can find me just walking down the street, basically.
That's it, man. We're gonna have to. Hey, bro, we're gonna have to fly out KeeLow G, man. You have to give us a live performance, dog, because man, you got some bangers.
Oh man, you guys can go ahead and put up an entire sheet if you guys can reach. Let me just put a number just to be fair. If you guys can reach, let's say 4,000 signatures on that, then you send that my way. If you get 4,000 signatures for that are just actual people, then I might consider it.
We're gonna have to get that 4,000 in, dog. We're gonna have to get that 4,000 signatures, man. We're gonna have to lock it in, dog. Definitely, dog.
I said I might, okay? That'd be people's voiced opinion on that, okay? We'll see.
Hey, we're gonna pull up with the 4,000, man. Don't worry, man. See, I ain't nothing. You know what I mean? Hey, bro, man, that's gonna be dope, though, dog. So, hey, bro, like, what else do you do to promote your music? You get on Instagram Live, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, any live stream platform? Anyone can catch you on, man?
I mean, I put myself through Submit Hub, or I go to Twitter, and I look for certain things like, I need new music. I look that stuff up, or I look up music industries, music, promotional, links, anything like that, or even just the words, drop your links. And then I just go and I spam the shit out of those. I basically get like copy and paste mode.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
All the hashtags that go with it. So that's how I've been, getting out there and slowly building. But yeah, I promote myself. I got no one to promote for me or anything like that. Everything's all independent, man.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Yeah, man. You know what? In this game, man, in this music game, man, you either get a viral song or you learn how to market yourself. Learn how to be able to, like you were saying, man, copy and paste, man. You know what I mean? But that's a job itself, man. A lot of people don't want to put that time and effort in.
Exactly. See, and a lot of my stuff that I have on there, if you look at the views, those are generic, or not generic. What do I say generic? Those are organic views.
Organic.
Yeah, they're not like where some people they put it on like you pay $300, we'll give you like 6,000 views, which are mostly all bots anyway.
Yo, bro, let me ask you about that. And that's another thing I wanted to ask you. But I'm glad you brought that up, man.
Mm.
So there's like services, and I'm gonna be straight up blunt about it, like YouTube Mafia, man. If you type that in, man, it's a marketing agency, and these people are charging people by the view, man. And basically, like you said, they're bots, bro.
All it does is it just gives you the views because these bots, they go in for like maybe barely even a minute, then they leave. They go in barely a minute, then they leave. And what it does is it causes like a strange influx on YouTube. It shows up as a view because that content was viewed, but at the same time, it kind of doesn't really count either. YouTube will not add those up. So, YouTube's got an algorithm where they're basically, if they click like and they're on for like 10 seconds and then they leave, and it's not going to count that, like. That like will stay on for maybe like a couple hours and it gets taken off. Same thing with dislikes. They do the same thing with the dislikes. The only way to actually grow, especially, if you want revenue, like for me, I got YouTube topics. Then they actually have to click, like, or they actually have to go and actually watch the video. And it's got to be through a verified account, not just a quick, put together account. So that account's got to have like a phone number. It's got to have an email, and it's got to have, all this stuff to verify that it actually is, who it is. So that's how they, do the whole algorithm and stuff through that. And, that's how come all of my stuff is organic, because, I actually get paid for a lot of my content that goes through.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Yeah, man. I mean, I've tried it one time, bro, but when I seen that the views weren't organic, man, I was like, man, that's waste, bro. That's stealing from the artist, bro.
Basically. And that's where these companies can get away with that. It's kind of sad, but,
I don't see how, bro. I don't see how they're allowed to just do that to
well,
any artist, any creator, man.
That's where the catch-22 phase comes in. They have their legal rights to do it and then offer that service. However, YouTube also has the right to say, we're not going to allow these people to do it, but, they're free to do it. But if we catch them, we're not going to allow their bots. And when their bots do come in, we're not going to acknowledge them that they're verified, because they're not.
Right.
So it's kind of one of those two-way bridges. It can work for you or it can work against you. And if you got too much influx that comes in, then the person that, these bots are going to, they can get flagged as, such. And then what happens is, they lose that account or they get suspended or restricted. And, that's why it's a two-way bridge. That's where the catch-22 comes in, because you're doing it at your own risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. So moving on, man. You got any future collabs that you're trying to get done by the end of the year, or do you got any collaborations in the work, man?
There's a project that's in the work right now, but I'm not gonna give any details about that. I know you want to hear about it, but yeah, there's a project that's being worked on. It takes a long process to work with, especially, when you got certain individuals. I'm not going to give the name of these individuals. You're going to have comes out.
Man, we got to stay tuned, man. We got to stay tuned, man. Hey, don't
If you-
forget to hit that subscribe button when you type in Northside of Records, man. Make sure you type in Northside of Records and hit that sub button and notification bell too. You already know, man. So let me ask you this, man. Any artist...
you guys want to get a lot of love from us too and get that where it says like by Northside Records, make sure you put into the comment on one of the videos you check out, make sure you put in there, it says strictly for the music sent me. Make sure you put that in there, and I'm sure to put a heart on that, alright?
Hell yeah. Fucking dope, dog. Yeah, man. So let me ask you this, man. Any artist, dead or alive, who would you collab with, man?
Dead or alive?
Yeah.
I would say most definitely it would have to be Nate Dogg, Tupac, and
Damn, Nate Dogg.
And then Snoop Dogg.
That's dope, man. All legends, bro. All legends.
Another one though I would also consider too would probably be what's his name? Sinister. I don't know if you ever heard of Sinister.
Sinister. Nah, man.
Look up that one called oh man, there was a good song by Sinister he made, and it was called Never Forget You. That's a good one. Look that one up.
Damn. All right,
Right?
man. All right. So let me ask you this, man. What advice do you got for any youth trying to become a musician or artist, man? In this time right now.
In this time right now, oh
Yeah.
man. Well, if it was several years back, I would normally say this. This is what I would tell you. You can do it. You can do it. But the thing is, don't stop. Don't quit. Push through. Continue getting yours regardless. You got to be heartless in this industry. So sometimes you got to shove and push your way through and then just basically burst through the door and give it your all. Don't quit. But nowadays, let me tell you this. Here's some modern day advice. You hear that one person on the radio and they're making it big over some easy lyrics on an easy beat.
Right.
Do it. You copy that person because that's how they're going these days. They're going through copycats. If you can sound like Nicki Minaj, if you can sound like Drake, if you can sound like Trippie Redd, if you can sound like Lil Nas or any of those that successful, how they made their way, then you go ahead and you do it. But at the same time, you do what you do best. You do yours. But the thing is that this industry, if you're trying to get mainstream, you got to sound like everybody else. There's no diversity, there's no uniqueness in this industry. But if you want to be true to the game and you want to be true to, who you are, or you want to be unique, then you find a certain key, you find a certain groove, and you ride that until you got your perfect groove going through your record. Then once you get that, then, it's going to be a hard struggle to push through. But if you keep pushing forward, you will strive to get where you want to be. That's the thing about this. There's several ways to get in, and there's no right, there's no wrong way. There's just, how you play it and how you perceive. But anybody can do it, but you got to put a lot of work, time, and effort. And it's basically like a job. You got to you got to put the work in order to get successful and promote yourself. So that's
Man.
basically what it is.
Dope advice, bro. Dope advice, man. All right, man. Favorite lyrics ever wrote in a song? Any songs you wrote, man? The lyrics that stick out to you the most, man.
Oh, man. I'm trying to think right now about that one because there's a few of them that came through. I can only think. I would definitely have to say my favorite lyrics that I pushed through has got to be this one track that came out. Yeah, yeah. I'm definitely gonna say it's "Looking Back." If you check out the song "Looking Back" featuring Izzy Chief, that one's got to be my first verse I put on there. That has to be one of my favorites there because it talks about a lot of stuff that was going on at that time.
Yeah,
Looking back
man.
as I sit and wonder how did I ever survive the life I'm in. Basically, that start came through. So.
Hell yeah, dog. All right, man. So I know we're at the end of the year, man, but do you have any goals or anything you're trying to accomplish before 2022?
It's kind of petty, but you're gonna laugh too at the same time. Basically, push myself out of debt and make more money.
Yeah. Hey, we're all trying to do that, dog. You know what I'm saying? Shit, the pandemic fucked everybody up, dog.
Pretty much, especially everyone in the music industry, man. Do you know how difficult it is to try and get your music pushed out there when everybody's cooped up in their house right now? When there's no money or any influx going through, it's kind of hard for, music industry to push through and pay their artists out when there's no money to be pushed through. It's kind of funny. And
Yeah,
then
man, definitely.
People that are cooped up there that want music, but when they do listen to it, their subscriptions are out, so they have to go through like 20 different things. This is like, oh my God. It's kind of hard to do when you're an artist to get your song out there. Because it's a competition.
Right.
But, yeah. But nah, to be real though, I would definitely say, for my people to be able to move on and become better in life, and maybe to improve certain things, but mostly to be a little more successful and get to a spot where I feel, that I can be, a spot where I know that I'm acknowledged now and where I can be comfortable at. And at this moment right now, I'm close to that, but not really. I know there's still more to push through and more to go. And that's what I'm trying.
All right, man. So how is your music going to evolve from here, man? What can the people expect from KeeLow G?
I'm thinking next year, maybe. I might.
Can we get some merchandise, bro?
Nah, you ain't gonna get merchandise just yet. Now, I need to make more money in my pocket right now and pull myself out of debt before I can actually think of doing merchandise. But it would also be, too, if I can break a certain amount of, subscribers on all platforms, then maybe I would think about doing it. Because I can actually have that promoted on my Spotify. I just don't got anything to do it with and, nothing to push through for right now. You know what I mean? So, but, yeah, I would consider it if somebody were to ask, hard enough. I don't know. Maybe actually get a distributor and actually have my albums put on CDs and put them up at Walmart somewhere. I don't know.
Bro, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, you already got all the tools, man. Like, you know what I mean? I've seen it, bro. I've seen how these artists do it nowadays, man. And I think it's a good way too, man. These artists are striving so hard right now, man. They're literally, man, going out to like busy intersections, bro, and posting up, man, and got all the merchandise in a big old, you know what I mean, like a Rubbermaid box, bro. You know what I mean? And they're out there getting it, dog. Like, bro. Like, I don't know how they're doing it, man, but they're doing it, bro. And, it's dope to see, man. Like, these people are hungry to get what they need to get, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the thing about music. It's costly, but if you do it right, if you're really trying to push for it, you do it right, you can actually, get some currency back in. Maybe you can get it twofold, tenfold, depending on how well you do. Right. Now, there's certain ways to go around it. Merchandising is one of them, but you got to spend a lot to make a lot.
yeah, man. So yeah, man. Like you're talking about all right. Say for instance, man, you wanna get this album. You know what I mean? Add it once again, man. You got another reapproved one too, though, man. And you could slap these on a CD, bro, and you can go out there and make your money, dog. You know what I mean? Like, it's done. This is a process, bro. They've been doing this since the 90s, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
The cassette tapes were, put out and stuff like that, You remember the days you had the cassette tech,
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly, man. You know what I mean? And that's what it seems like it's going at back again, man. It's like these artists are noticing, like, you know what I mean? You can only do so much with, let's face it, bro, you can only do so much with streaming, bro. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Unless you get a good marketer, man, and that's know how to market your music, bro. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, those are my options, bro. If I'm an artist, man, and I'm starting from scratch, but I know all the skills that you know, mm-hmm. I'm investing, bro. I'm investing. I don't care what it takes, bro. I'm investing because I know I'm gonna get that money back. You know what I'm saying? And you know the artist that's willing out there to do whatever it takes, bro. It's in them. It's in their heart, bro.
Yep. I mean, that's how a lot of these good artists that are out now, they've pretty much moved forward and, they're at their point where they at now, But, things, I will admit to this, okay? Things are a lot better nowadays for artists than it was in the 90s. Because if you look at artists like Nas, you look how Jay-Z and all of them came up, a lot of them went through hell. They jumped over barbed wires, landmines, over impossible mountains, and they went through such a feat that they made it through.
Bro, let me ask you this. I'm glad you brought that up right now, man. So let me ask you this, bro. Do you think the artists nowadays got it easier than what they had back then? Like in the 90s?
Yeah, they do. I mean, back in the day, you had to spend hundreds of dollars just on, for equipment, just to make a beat. And even then, you were also spending money on records, finding the person to loop it, finding the person to mix it down. You literally had to have a DJ. You had to have a person that could, take a small instrument and then put it onto, let's, say, 8-track cassette tape, which only went in one direction, but it utilized the left and right and, the reverse tracks as well, and utilized them all onto one track. And then you mix that into another cassette tape and you mixed it all down into one track. See, nowadays you just open up a laptop, open up an iPhone, open up your cell phone.
Yeah, iPhone, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dog. BandLab.
Yeah, BandLab. BandLab, FL Studio. You just run it all through there because it's all in one. And all you just need that is a pair of headphones and a mic, and you can just post your stuff up on SoundCloud. You can post it up on BandLab. You can post it up on Stream. Yeah, you can put it anywhere. YouTube.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. On Interscope, I follow Interscope Records, man, on Instagram, and they posted, bro, that the label had just signed an artist making tracks with his phone on BandLab, bro. I seen it,
Oh, that's what's up. I mean, hey, somebody
Bro,
made it.
Off BandLab, though? Off using a phone?
Yeah.
Bro, there's no excuses for anyone else not doing the same thing, bro.
Hey, you want to know something really fun, though, man?
What's up?
Like I said, I was homeless. I done my things. I ran through all this. I have barely a cent in my name. You know what that last album was done?
Yeah.
It was done on the same phone I'm talking to you with, dude.
Damn.
A Samsung Galaxy A50. That's what I use. That entire album was made using the same phone I'm communicating to you with right now.
No headphones?
No, just the one I'm using right now. Same mic and everything.
Oh shit. Damn, dog. Hey, bro. Man, bro, you know what you're doing though. I'm gonna give you that, man, and that's dope. Just know that you're self-produced, bro, because you know what, a lot of artists they depend on the producer, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you find the right producer, you find the right person that can produce your music, and even then, if they call themselves a producer and they don't have artists or they don't work with other artists, to adjust their EQs and master that track, then they're not technically a producer if they can't be independent as such. They're just a beat maker. Now, an actual producer is someone that's, behind the scenes that can both mix, master, and be able to produce that track and put it up onto, like well-established streaming sites, like iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube,
Yo, bro.
all that stuff.
Yo, bro, do you think that a lot of people get it mixed up nowadays from a beat maker to a producer?
Yes, they do. Because a lot of people think a producer, like, well, I can produce an instrumental, I can make a beat. Okay, cool. That's one thing. Can you promote it and put it up onto an album and be able to push it into iTunes, push it onto like YouTube platform and actually, get the legal rights and documents for it so that way it's under your name? Then you're just beat maker. Or if you can sell all those beats that you made successfully and be able to work with artists, in order to adjust the beats to their liking, then you're a producer because you're producing the beats for somebody else. See, most producers exclusively work with artists. They make beats for that particular artist or, for a artist. And then they get those beats, put up on, all the platforms and stuff. Beat makers just make a beat. And then, they sell them to anybody or, they just make a beat and just have it and then just let it sit and rot or put it up for free on YouTube or just, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And they don't go anywhere else with it. That's the difference.
Yeah, man, I hear you, man. So, yeah, man, I'm glad you covered that, man. I'm glad you covered that. All right, man, so let me ask you this. Is there anything that we didn't mention in this interview that you want to bring up, man?
Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about that whole craziness that went on. I don't know if you wanted to.
Yeah,
it seemed
man.
like you pushed that there. I was kind of getting that vibe you were trying to push to that. Just to clarify.
You talking about? All right, yeah, man. Hey, man, speak it, man.
All right. Well, let's put it this way, okay? Just as a note, okay? Let's put this as a note. That ended. We settled everything. Everything is cleared right now. There's a little pact that we made, and it settles everything between me, Ryan, trading name, Isaac, and Weatherman. Okay, that pact includes all of us. Um, what happens if somebody says something or does something? They put it on track and publish it and put it, on a level that includes comments, and stuff like that. If that were to happen, it includes music videos too, or videos. If that were to happen, then that excludes that person out of that pact, and everybody will have to this on that person. Basically, it's like self-destruction. We call it MAD, mutual self-destruction. Now, basically what happened was, I commented on, because he was going at it with Weatherman, I commented on something that I saw in there. Then it escalated from there. It was back and forth, back and forth. So finally it hit to, he did like, small disses at me. I went small disses at him. Then it went to diss tracks, diss track after diss track after diss track after diss track, video after video after video after video, comment after comment after comment, until eventually he snapped and he's like, you want a war? You got it. So it became a war. Then that's when stuff got real, and two people ended up in the hospital for it. Um, that were fans, I guess. I heard about it from one of my connections there. Um, two kids got into it at a high school. They got into a fight. One broke his arm, and another one, well, basically they retaliated for that because I guess the kid had a cousin that didn't take it too lightly, so let's put it this way, those people went and put that kid in a hospital with a few bullet casings in his lower abdomen. He lived. He's alright, I guess, but, yeah, that's where that escalated. I talked to Ryan about it, and, let's put it this way, I told him, I said, look, it's not only my responsibility, it's your responsibility. We're both artists. It led to this. This is where we're at right now. People are actually taking our music to heart like that. They're in the streets doing this shit. So we talked it over, you know, I reached over because, I treat everybody with respect, even if they are an enemy or not. If you're going to have a time to go street parlay, and that's what I call it, street parlay. When you do a parlay, no matter regardless who it is, if it's your enemy, your worst, whoever, you sit there and you listen to them and you give them the respect they deserve for doing it, for being a man of their word, and you hold them to that word. And that's what we did. We had a sat down, we talked it over, so we came to agreements. I talked to everybody, they agreed with it, and we pushed through and ended that beef, I guess you can say. There should be no more beefs. All the stuff that is on there, we're going to keep it on as a reminder, what it escalated to and where it could go to. But a lot of these tracks that came out, that's, like I said, that's what strived and pushed me forward, and that's how I ended up making this album, because it was one track after another after another, and it's kind of like the beast reawoken from the cave. And
So let me ask you this, man. This man, fucking lit that fire under you, dog. Got you to doing. So before this, man, you were done with music, right?
I was like just doing instrumentals. I was just gonna stick to making instrumental music and trying to push forward, using my government name under that, and I'm gonna try and become a producer and continue, putting Northside Records, to helping other artists. But after that, yeah, I kind of lost track of that and went back into getting the music and strived in where I'm at now.
So, bro,
if it wasn't for Crazy, if it wasn't for him doing his thing, I wouldn't have met Weatherman. I wouldn't have met Isaac, and I probably eventually would have made a collaboration with Trey, but I wouldn't have got to know him or possibly done it sooner as it is now. And everything where it's at now, it kind of went for the better. And due to all of the tracks that came through and me, doing all that, I wouldn't have gotten Lil Grim as an artist on the label as well, because I helped him. I did EQs for him.
You have an artist on your label right now too?
Yeah, from BandLab.
We haven't even talked about that, man.
Yeah, there's been a few artists that have come and gone over the years. Let's put it this way, but Lil Grim's one of them. He's
Where's
got
he
his.
from?
Oh shoot, I cannot remember. I think it's Minnesota if I remember right. But yeah, it's pretty cool, man. You can find his stuff on BandLab mostly. Oh, he's also got a YouTube channel as well. But you can also find the music that I produced for him. Well, not produced, like I helped EQ and then piece it together and stuff. It's on Minnesota Records. You can look it up. It's called Only You. It's got a picture of Sonic the Hedgehog and stuff. You'll see it. It says Little Grim on there. LXL Grim.
Yo, bro, can we expect a collaboration from you two?
That is a question even I've been asking there. I'm not sure. I was going to try and add him on there, but he's busy. He's got his own stuff going on, personal issues, personal life, which, I can respect. We're only human, right?
Right.
So,
exactly, bro.
Yeah, so he's got his stuff. I don't expect it, anytime soon. If it happens, it happens. But, I'm still, glad. I'm still willing to work with him and still willing to get him posted up out there and stuff. So it's a process. It's a process.
Right. All right, man. So, man, you got any special shout-outs you want to give, bro?
I want to give shout-outs to everybody in the Lower Valley in the Yakima Nation area. Love you guys. Thank you for all your support for all these years. And also special shout-outs to Estrada. You already know who I'm talking about. You guys know exactly who I'm talking about. And all the family that come from that section there. Shout-outs to Cruz Jim. Shout-outs to Miguel Ray. Shout-outs to Trey Lane. Shout-out to Isaac. Shout-outs to Weatherman. And see, who else am I forgetting here? Shout-outs to Reese and his family. I hope you guys are doing pretty cool out there. Shout-outs to Delphine and her family. I hope you guys are doing well out there. Take care and happy Halloween, everybody. Also, I would definitely say shout-outs to the IMP families, because you guys have been pretty cool with me. You guys protected me over these years. And, yeah, hopefully you guys continue to strive on and do right and get your members straight. As for that, shouts to Black Lodge and Little Island Cree and everybody else out there. Oh, before I forget too, shoutouts to H-Bomb and shoutouts to Izzy Chief. I don't know where you guys are at, what you guys are doing now, but hope to hear from you guys sometime later on down the road and hope to collaborate with you once again. That's about it I can think of right now.
All right, man. Plug in all your social media outlets, man.
Oh, man. All you have to do is just look up rapper KeeLow G, and you can find me. You can find me up on
Instagram.
Yeah, you can find me up on Instagram. You can find me up on Twitter. You can find me up on Spotify, iTunes, Deezer. Yeah. As a matter of fact, here, I'll give you a link so you can go ahead and put it into the video and stuff. It's going to be a master link. It'll give you, links to most of my stuff on here. But you guys can search me up. That's Cliff5093. Just look that up and you can find, all my social medias and stuff. Or just you'll find it up on there too. So.
Yo, bro, you're from the 509 area?
Hell yeah, man. That's the Yakima
Shout out, man. Shout out to 509. All right, KeeLow G, man. Thank you for coming on the podcast, man. And, man, I hope from here on out, man, nothing but big success for you and your whole team, man.
Thanks, man. Much appreciated. Same to you, man. And I do appreciate you having me up on here. This has been a wonderful experience. Probably an enlightening experience for you and your viewers, but I'm much more, I'm more humble. So, I thank you very much. And, yeah, hope to see great stuff down the future for you and your people as well. So, you take care. Man. And thank you very much.
This is Strictly for the Music Podcast.